Welcome back to Arcana, guys. Even though I'm putting this back up on YouTube, I'm not going to be expecting much. I know I'm getting a few views from these, but I'm getting copyright claims for the music that is used in the game itself. So if I suddenly stop putting these videos up because I'm told I shouldn't be, go over to my Twitch channel, PsychoKitty121, and the videos are all up there as well. So keep that in mind. So let's go to Heart Hunter and see what happens today. Let's see. Oh, Julian and Azra met. I used to live here, you know. I'm glad you got out, Azra. So Azra used to live under a dock, according to this. Huh. Get to move one space? Well, that's lame. I don't want to go after Nadia. I don't like her like that. So I'm gonna go over here and see. Of course. Wait. Yeah! Julian came to me! Nadia and Azra met at the Colosseum. I despise this place. I cannot wait to demolish it. Tell me when, I'd love to help. Wow. There you are. I could pick out your lovely face out of the crowd from a mile away, Kitty. Julian gave Kitty one heart at the town square. Yes, let me just rip out my still beating heart, or someone's still beating heart, and just hand it over to you. Here you go. Have a heart. Wow. Let's see. Oh, let's go for Faust. She's so cute. Friend. Goat? Faust tried to help Kitty get a heart, but something or someone got in the way. Okay. And now there is absolutely nobody near me. And I get to move one space. Oh, this is ridiculous. And the music changes. Home? Not anymore, Faust. We're somewhere better now. My cat is playing with paper. Let's see. Let's go mid-range. Seeing as I'm only able to move one spot per time. The game does not want me to win heart. Like, seriously. Friend. And you give me Nadia. Heart. Faust brought a love letter from Nadia at the lazarette. Kitty found one heart inside. Okay. Where's your master then? Master? Faust does not have a master. Yeah, I've lost this one. Let's end things where we started. Seeing as I'm not spending my coins for that. And our spin is in 20 minutes, so let's not bother with that. Let's just get back into the story. Okay, so last where we left off, I had to hunt down the guard to find the card. My cats are going crazy in the front bedroom. We have brown wrapping paper. My cats have decided to use it as a plaything. So, I'll show you what they're doing. Out there. Do you see it? That. Right there. purse and strings. That's all he needs. I don't need to go buy expensive cat toys. I just give him paper, sticks, and strings. And he's happy. Completely and perfectly happy to play with strings, papers, and sticks. What can I say? Okay, let's get back into this. The palace looms over the carriage as we approach, a white monolith against the twinkling night sky. At some point, I dozed off, the gentle sway of the carriage too seductive for my exhausted mind. I awaken to a comfortable silence. The Countess is turned toward the window with a serene smile. As soon as we disembark from the carriage, a host of servants arrive to sweep me up for a bath. Tightly flanked on both sides, I am led through the halls and past my guest quarters to a bathing hall. Wow. That's pretty. Is that wine or is that bathing concoctions? I don't know. I suppose the Countess intends to... Holy crap, hi! Jesus. Jump scared by cat. Mystic once again says hi, everybody. He was in my last video. I sit down on the couch and this is what happens. I get the large fluffy beast. So, I suppose the Countess intends to bathe me whether I like it or not. There's no escape from my escort. I can't muster the energy to protest as they quickly strip me and usher me into a large marble bath. My cat, everybody. My cat. Lay down, you large fuzzy lump of fur. With a fluttery groan, I sink into the perfumed water and let the day's tension and filth melt away from me. I don't notice Portia until she clears her throat, waiting expectantly in the doorway. A glittery bundle rests in her arms, shimmering hues of burnt sienna and rich Tyrian purple. And fuzz coming at my eye. Milady is waiting for you in the dining room. She'd like you to wear these. Portia tosses me a cheeky look and then sets the new outfit on a tiled bench against the far wall. She slips out of the room, leaving me to my thoughts in the softly sloshing water. I exit the tub and pad across the luxurious bathroom to the bench, leaving a small river in my wake. This ensemble is woven of a heavier silk than the last, which appears to have been whisked away. I run my hands over the smooth grain, then slide the clothing on. It's perfect for the balmy night air. When I exit the bathing chamber, Portia is waiting outside, fingers tapping a jaunty rhythm against the wall. So, you took quite the little trip into town today, huh? Meet up with anybody special? My vulnerable expression makes her snort with laughter. She places a hand on my back and leads me briskly toward the dining hall and faint echoes of music. The grand doors swing open as we arrive to reveal an expansive feast, piled high upon the long table. I'm immediately overwhelmed by the sumptuous smells and sights of the food before me. This is the song that got a copyright claim. It did not in the second video I put up, but it did in the third. Go figure. Everything is richly seasoned with Vesuvian spices. I can recognize the scent of saffron wafting towards me. Why, if it isn't my champion of the hour, fresh from the bath. Hello, kitty. A servant seats me and fills my glass with pale rose beverage as the Countess raises a toast. To Kitty, whose talents have exceeded my highest expectations. Let us be strangers no longer. May this be the beginning of a valuable friendship. I look forward to a long and fruitful partnership with you. I'm sure you will not disappoint. She looks me in the eyes and then drains her glass in one motion, setting it down gently when she's done. I take a sip of the rosy drink. The delicate floral taste reminds me of the Countess's perfume. Lest we forget. Ludmila, Ludovico. The Countess casts her gaze sidelong toward the kitchen door. Moments later, 2 figures slink sheepishly into the dining hall. The guards. The rabbit and deer. Freshly bathed and divested of their animal costumes. They shift nervously, armor jostling as they adjust their posture, and straighten expectantly for orders. We heard something. For being such admirable sports, I would forgive their trespasses, but the slight was against you, Kitty. Shall we invite them to join us at the table tonight, or shall I send them away? Let's invite them to join us, let's not be mean. They can stay. Oh, and did you guys notice? It's my avatar. I got it in a t-shirt. I didn't even realize it was actually from T-Turtle, the image I used, so they were really happy to hear about it. They're like, yeah, keep using it, so thanks, T-Turtle. The guards look at each other in confusion, frozen in place. Neither dares to move. The Countess clears her throat, and they promptly clamber to the farthest seats at the end of the table. They seem startled when servants set plates in front of them and remain nervously quiet. Nadia's lips twitch up slightly as she observes me before returning to the guards. They've worked hard today, haven't they? Very well. Behave. I'm not going to say their names again. Holy crap. They nod in unison and murmur to each other as Nadia's attention turns back to me. You have a generous spirit, Kitty. A rarity in this town. Tomorrow we shall dine together with my courtiers. They are most eager to make your acquaintance. I have no doubt they will find you absolutely charming. They will want to know everything about you. But choose wisely what you wish to tell. I will be informing them of the masquerade as well. I imagine they will be ecstatic. I nod slowly, chewing and swallowing hard. The ways of the court are foreign to me. But the Countess will be there. No doubt she will ensure that my premiere goes smoothly. I can trust, at the very least, that she won't allow me to be too much of an embarrassment. Portia and a retinue of our loudest servants will be going to town tomorrow to make the announcement. Once the town people hear, word shall be spread on its own, and it shall be out of our hands. We must ensure that there is sufficient audience for our final spectacle. This is of the utmost importance. The Countess's crimson gaze narrows, as if she's peering into an unfavorable horizon. When the doctor hangs, he will hang for all those who wish to see. I think of Julian bathed in the warm, welcoming light of the tavern, swinging from the gallows. My heart grows cold at the image, but I'm careful not to let it show on my face. But these are tomorrow's matters. Tonight, Kitty, I have questions. Questions? I'm startled by the sudden attention. She's watching me so carefully. Yes, I wish to become familiar with you. We'll be working very closely after all. I'm caught a little off guard, but quickly recover. I didn't expect her to have any interest in who I was. She asks me simple questions, how I enjoy the town, my daily goings-ons, my favorite things to eat. I ask her questions in turn and learn her favorite food is spiced swordfish. Have you ever had it, Kitty? It's quite delicious. I don't like fish. Never have. Never will. I can handle salmon, and I can handle tuna. But you get me anywhere near the smell of fish, and my stomach just goes flip-flip. And it says, no. Get that stuff gone. Don't bother. No, I don't think I have. In Praca, it is a summer dish. I would hardly suffer a warm night without it. Praca, a vast empire in the north. The Countess's home, though I had thought it was only rumor. The kitchen does try to humor my requests, but alas, they can never seem to spice it quite right. She looks back to me with a wry smile and lifts her drinks to her lips once more. I am quite enjoying our talk, Kitty. But I admit I do not savor the audience. She casts her gaze about the dining room before rising slowly. I wonder if you would like to join me on the veranda for a nightcap. She looks down at me, the soft smile tugging at her lips. I flush under her scrutiny. Just the two of us. She then holds out her hand towards me, waiting expectantly. I'm gonna decline. I don't want to romance Nadia, and I feel like if I take this, I'm gonna be giving her... I think I'd be trying to inadvertently lead her on. I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna say no thank you. Because of all the people that you so far can romance, I know I'm totally gonna romance Julian. I don't think he is the murderer. So I'm gonna say no thank you. Are you tired? Or perhaps shy? It's quite alright, Kitty. Whatever your reasons, I understand completely. Well, no need to waste a good cordial. I think I shall take it in my room then. I do hope you will have a pleasant evening, Kitty. Portia, please show our guest back to her room. Nadia exits the dining room, a scent of jasmine lingering in the air for a moment before fading as well. Portia appears at my elbow, smiling warmly. Well, what an eventful day, huh? Come on, I'll walk you back to your room. I nod gratefully and get to my feet, following Portia out. Whew. At least I can't get in trouble for saying no to the Countess. I've got this weird feeling that if I were to actually say no to an actual Countess, you would probably get in some sort of trouble. I don't know, maybe that's just me. The walk back to the guest room is far less eventful tonight. Mercedes and Melicor are nowhere to be seen. Our footsteps echo within the empty halls. Portia walks cheerfully beside me. Excuse me. Things are a lot more interesting around here since you showed up. Did you see Bodlimi and Ludovicio faces when they were summoned to the dinner? Oh my god! I thought Ludo died on the spot! Hi, train! Can you not? It's like clockwork. I mean, clockwork. And can we mention Portia's face right now? The little cheeky. I love it. He's always had a nervous constitution. She talks about the guards as if they're old friends. I start to wonder how well she knows the servants here. Probably pretty well. I mean, depending on how long she's been there, but if she's the Countess's favorite, like the old crone said from the very first video, I wouldn't see why she wouldn't know everybody. And sorry if I kind of sound congested. I'm getting sick, so my sinuses aren't quite clear on this side yet. Do you spend a lot of time with the other servants? We work together pretty closely. It's my job to know who and what's happening in the palace. She winks conspiratorially at me, and then starts walking again, hair swaying with the bounce in her step. We arrive at the door to my guest room. She waits expectantly for me to enter. It seems servants came during the day to tidy up. They've placed a fresh pitcher of water on the desk. Incense burns by the window, filling the room with hazy swirls of wood and spice. Portia looks as if she's dying to ask me a question, but it falters before it can escape her lips. She smooths her hand over the papers on my desk. I recognize them as the ones I took from Julian's study. What happens after I capture the doctor? Will there be a trial? No. Milady is certain of his guilt. The execution will continue as scheduled. You seem concerned. Concerned? Me? Maybe. It's just... I don't know. He's not the only suspect, right? Sure, many people loved the Count, but just between you and me, I think Count Lucio had lots of enemies, too. Enemies? Who? Portia shakes her head and runs her hands down her skirt. I wasn't employed at the palace when it happened. I've only heard rumors of what went on that night. Just keep your eyes peeled for anything suspicious, all right? Portia pauses, looking from left to right, and then widens her eyes and she leans in close to me, voice low. You know, if you're not too tired yet, I could show you around the palace. There's a lot of interesting things on the palace grounds. Maybe I could show you some secrets. If you think he can handle them. Is she teasing me? She smiles, giving me another wink and tilts her head, waiting for an answer. Okay, so take into account of the previous night. We went from mid-afternoon all the way until very late in the evening, full on running in a chase after these guards. I would be exhausted. I'm too tired. Aw, that's too bad. Thought we could get into a little mischief. But I get it. You had a long day running around, chasing rabbits and deer and who knows what else. Get some rest, okay? Tomorrow, my lady wants you to join us in town to announce the masquerade. I'll be back at dawn. Don't sleep in. With that, she's gone, fabric swishing as she glides down the hallway. I'm alone with my thoughts. I'd be exhausted. The Hierophant. The wagon jolts beneath me, bouncing on the uneven road and lurching from side to side. Oh, sorry, I get that whole Ace Ventura moment with the car and he's bouncing and jolting and stuff and they're on a smooth road. I'm headed into town with Portia to make the announcement. The sun is just rising when we arrive at the market. Soda! I need a soda moment! It's a soda moment! I was up very late last night and I need my caffeine to keep me awake for at least another hour or two. It's cold. Full of condensation. It's all wet and leaking everywhere. Look at that. It's all watery. Even though I have a cooler on, it's still like 75 degrees in the house right now. The sun is just rising when we arrive at the market. Holy crap, how early did you get my butt up? I am a night owl, not a morning bird. Leave me be! Let me sleep! Alright, everybody, listen up! The chattering servants loaded with the baskets fall silent and congregate around Portia. Noon o'clock will be making the announcement at City Square. Till then, you all know your errands. Talk to me if you don't. As for you, Kitty, I thought you might like to check in on your shop. Her words set off a cascade of emotions, first being relief. I would very much like to check up on my shop. I'll try to find you, but if I don't, be at the square by noon. Bye now! The servants depart, spreading out into the marketplace. I head in the direction opposite, straight for the shop. My own very oasis. Hopping up the steps, I press my palm to the door and release the sealing spell. Hastily, I turn the first two locks, fumbling and dropping my keys before I can get to the third. When I dip down to retrieve them, I spot a small leather pouch resting on the stoop. It's rough in make and heavy with energy. Someone left this for me. Excuse me. Picking up the knot, I open the pouch. Inside is a magic mixture. Herbs, bark, resin, and incense. I pour a little on my palm and sniff. Myrrh is the strongest, but there are scents of sage and marrowroot, a mixture for protection. I cast a glance to either side of the street, quiet under the cloudy sky. There's no one nearby. I fetch my keys and turn the third lock. Just as I lean on the door, it swings open and I nearly collapse into the last person I expected to see. Dr. Deverak! The sight of him freezes me in my tracks, the pouch dropping from my nerveless fingers. I struggle to speak, but he beats me to it. Well, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. Kitty, I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd check if you'd gotten home all right. And here you are, getting home all right. Marvelous. I'll stop wringing my hands. Something tells me he's not being completely honest. For a moment, I think about calling the guards, but I hesitate. This is the second time he's been in my shop. Will the guards think I've been harboring him? Either way, I have questions for him. I have no fear of the doctor. I fix him with a narrow gaze. How did you keep getting in? I know I locked up after the first time, so you've either broken in or I've got a key. With a click of his tongue and a ragged sigh, the doctor pulls a little key from his coat pocket. Here. If it makes any difference, you can take it. I won't be using it again. That's a promise. He waits patiently as I take the key and compare it to my others. It lines up with my key to the back room. And my cat goes tearing through the house like a bat out of hell. Smaller brother right on his heels. It's a cat chase! Life with two boys who love to play. You also end up with these scratches. Because my boys like to roughhouse like a nutball. And I end up bearing the brunt of their claws. Such is the life of being a cat mom. Wouldn't change it for the world, though. I love my boys. Who gave this to you? You don't... well, let's just say I needed to make a couple of house calls after hours. My eyebrows shoot upward. House calls? To Azra's room? Was he ever that ill? If he had been, would he have told me? I frowned, pocketing the key and giving the doctor a wary look. Oh, I hope you don't think I'm a thief. I'm a lot of things, but not that. But you wouldn't take my word for it, would you? To my surprise, the doctor shucks off his overcoat and starts to unbutton his waistcoat. He throws it open with a flutter, arms outstretched, palms up in submission. He's waiting to pounce on his brother. His brother is sitting up in the window in the back. What have they gotten into? I didn't give them catnip. Would you two settle down? Crazy, kooky cats? Jeez. Now you know where I get the name Psycho Kitty. Them. Dang, Julian! Yummy. I'd take it. Heck yeah. Search me. If you find anything of yours, I'll show myself to the stocks. Go ahead. Search until you're satisfied. He lowers his eye, presenting himself for inspection. The sight makes me grow hot at the ears, embarrassed. Oh, I am so patting his butt down? I think I will. From the stunned look on his face. He didn't expect me to take him up on it. You're just full of surprises, aren't you? Well then, don't be shy. I promise I'll be good. I step closer, eyes roaming over his body, unsure of where to begin. Let's go for the arms first. I gingerly run my hands down one of his arms. I can feel how cool his skin is, even through the thin material of his shirt. I don't know how he managed this. Real quick, guys. My cat was in the front room over there. Over there. Over there. In that room. He came running from over here through the living room. He's going behind the sofa. Mystic. What? What? Chill. Good. Goodness. What's got a... Is there a cat prancing over the controls in that head of yours? Inside out joke. claws. Loves the claws. He loves the claws. Chill. Running through the house like a psychopath. Goodness. What's gotten into you? Oh, right. You didn't go outside today. So this is that nervous energy running itself ragged. It's been storming almost all day. So I kept the boys inside for their safety. We had a tornado watch warning out here where I live. So I figured it was best to keep the boys in rather than try to find them when it got nasty or if it got nasty. So, let's see, where were we? Now that the insanity has died down just a little bit. I've never been this close to him before. There's barely a sliver of space between us. Woo-hoo! The leather of his glove creaks as he flexes the lean muscles of his arm under my hand. Oh, you have such lovely hands. You know you can squeeze a little harder, you know. I won't mind. True to his brazen words, he bites his lip, but I press more firmly into his other arm, but he doesn't protest. Look at that blush. Okay, come on, guys. Seriously, why do you do this to me? He's cute. I'm sorry. I'm getting kind of Labyrinth vibes. It's the white shirt, the black gloves, and the tight pants. The only thing is he's got an eye patch and he's a redhead. I felt absolutely head over heels in love with Jareth when I was 9 years old. Thought he was the most gorgeous thing I had ever seen. And still to this day, I love Labyrinth, so don't hate me for that. If you do, I don't care. Come to think of it, I haven't seen you up close in broad daylight before. You're stronger than I realized. I'd love to get a good feel for you. Please, Julian, yes! You can search me! I hear, please, yes, no? Damn. He reaches for me, clever fingers wrapping around my wrist and tugging, trying to close that last inch between our bodies. I smack his hand away. Stop moving. For a moment I worry I've gone too far, but Julian doesn't seem offended at all. He bites his lip, flushing, and obediently drops his arm back to his side. That look. I have an idea, but I'm not going to say anything until I know more. I take a step back, catching my breath. Julian blinks quizzically at me. Done so soon? Why, you've only just started. You haven't even checked my other side yet. He's baiting me, but he's right. I haven't checked his back yet. I circle behind him and he twists around to watch me, not letting me out of his sight. His eyes bright with interest, my cheeks warm under his shameless stare. I had no idea you were so hands-on. How daring of you. Aren't you afraid someone will see? Did I say you could move? No, you didn't. Then turn back around. He complies without hesitation. I can see the tips of his ears turn red. Interesting. That look! Don't you bite your lip at me! Oh, that is not fair! A fine tremor goes through him when I slide my palms down his back. Besides, shouldn't you be afraid of being seen? Well, I suppose that's true. I run my hands over his hips, checking his pockets, and stop when I feel an unexpected hard edge. Ah, that. Don't worry about that. It's a knife, hidden in his pocket. Okay, he's blatantly flirting now. He's got a knife in his pocket, but he is happy to see me. Woo! Julian? Julian, seriously. One, you have like one of my absolute most favorite names ever. I've always loved the name Julian. I always thought if I ever had a kid, and it turned out to be a boy, I'd name him Julian. I've always loved that name. But I also have a thing for redheads. And I've already told you ever since the age of 9, that whole outfit look has been a big aesthetic for me. Love it. You guys at Nix Hydra have basically created my ideal guy. And he's flirting with me, which makes it all the better. And the cat once again staring at me. Hi. I see you. See, this time you can't spook me. You already scared me. Okay, knife in the pocket, but I am happy to see you. I can show you if you like. He's incorrigible, but I can feel him nervously shifting his weight. I walk back around to his front, trailing one hand over his hip. He sways in my direction, but holds himself still with visible effort. Are you done? Almost. You better tell me what you were really looking for. You're very persistent, aren't you? And, thorough. Answer the question. Julian's throat bobs when he swallows and lets out a slow, shaky sigh. I was looking for answers, but I didn't find any. Not the ones I wanted. Alright, I believe you. Huh? Wait, really? Really? That's a terrible idea. You shouldn't take anyone at their word, least of all me. But, well, I do hope you're satisfied. Not yet. I would just hate to disappoint you. He retrieves his overcoat with a showy flourish and slips it back on. Well, I'm sure you have things to do, so I'll just be getting out of your way. He takes a wide step, contorting his long form around me to pass. Dr. Deverak, take care now. If the powers that be should ever entangle us again, call me Julian. His broad grin takes only a second to fade before shock takes over his features. Bristling at the nape, I look carefully over my shoulder. Poor Tia. She must have come to find me, but she pays me no attention at all. All of her focus and the suspended disbelief wide in her eyes is on the man beside me. When she speaks, the quiet word that escapes her sounds different. An unused voice from the depths of her heart. Ilya? Portia stumbles, then runs to the steps. I back into the wall as she throws herself at the doctor. Ilya, is that really you? Her shaking hands come to either side of his face. His eye starts to shine. I notice and wonder. It's me. You bastard! What are you doing here, out in the open? Are you trying to get yourself killed? Her fingers curl, tugging at his ears and drawing a shameful wince. You've grown up strong, Pasha. I'm sorry I wasn't there to see it. Wait a minute, wait. Portia is Julian's sister. It's so cute! Oh, I'll show you, sorry! You unbelievable kitty! Spotted, I can only offer Portia a curious look. She releases Julian's ears, tugging him off the stoop. I'll catch up with you later. Without further ado, Portia hauls the floundering doctor away to an alley nearby, leaving me to ponder. Didn't they seem like family? That would be the sister. I enter my shop and head straight for the back room. My curiosity has concocted a theory. The Countess believes possession of Julian's is all I need to find him. Perhaps the possession of Azra's will be enough to call him to me. I could go to the pool at the fountain again in the palace gardens, if I bring something with meaning to him. For some time, I linger over his possessions, his clothing, and magical relics, comforted by his smoky scent. But it's the strangest thing. I try to feel it out, but none of Azra's things carry even a trace of his sparkling magic. Before I know it, the sun is high in the sky. A distant clock tolls the hour, shocking me to my feet. The announcement! I can already hear a crowd roaring in the distance. Biting my lip in vexation, I abandon my venture and close up shop, headed for the city square. Ahem! Hear ye, hear ye! This is an announcement for the palace of the Countess Nadia. The square is densely packed with people, smaller folks and latecomers circling the perimeter for a better view. I like the music. I join them, sliding carefully amongst the buzzing crowd. A pleasant smell I can't place is wafting from nearby. On the eve of the passing of your most glorified Count Lucio, the Countess will open the palace gates. That's right, folks. All are invited not to mourn, but to celebrate the spirit of the dearly departed Count. A ripple of loud excitement passes through the crowd. At its edge, I follow a familiar scent. Mariah. A leather pouch dropped at my doorsteps comes to mind. Then I come upon a figure halting in size. You again! There is no name. Who are you? I get like werewolf vibes when I look at this dude. Is that just me? Their eyes are shadowed under a hood and a heavy brow. Though the excitement in the square is growing, the figure looks more like a harbinger of despair. It'll be a masquerade like no other before. Spread the word, tell your friends. You won't want to miss this. As the crowd erupts in chatter, the massive stranger moves down a side street, escaping with the scent of Mariah. The stranger's lumbering pace is easy to match. I catch up halfway down the street. Hey, where are you going? They turn slowly as if they dread the sight of me. A voice like thunder rumbles from under the robes. Blindly to the slaughter, just like the rest of you. What do you mean? Please speak plainly. It doesn't matter what I say. My words won't last. They never do. The stranger shuffles away, chains rattling. My thoughts race. If they left the protection spell at the shop, did Azra send them? Nah, he doesn't want to be followed. So let's just leave him alone. Maybe we'll find out more about him later. With a suffering look, the stranger disappears into the misty shadows of the afternoon alley. I head back toward the servant's wagon, where Portia is tossing flower petals and rice into the dancing city folk. Kitty! There you are! You missed the big reveal. Would you look at this crowd? No incidents back at the shop, I hope. Nothing out of the ordinary? Her smile has a shade of desperation as she bats her eyes pleadingly. I'm not gonna say anything. The moment is lost. We're jostled as the wagon lurches to life. Wild laughter follows us down the streets, ringing with the news of the masquerade. But my mind is lost elsewhere. The ride back from the city is alive with talk. When we return to the palace, the bridge is lined with carriages. Portia informs me the courtiers must have arrived. A shiver runs from my head to the base of my spine. She escorts me to a wing of the palace that smells strongly of incense and half a dozen perfumes. I know we've reached the parlor door by the music and cackling laughter inside. Noticing my nerves, Portia remembers to give me a comforting smile. Don't worry, Kitty. These people can't wait to meet you. Her words ground me. People. People, that's all they are. Yeah, important people. The room is hazy, swimming with elegant plumes of smoke. Softly lit figures lay about on pillowy couches. As my escort, Portia had me run through the guest list for the evening debut. I try to put faces to their names. I will apologize if I butcher any names. The Countess notices me first, glancing up from behind a gleaming pipe organ as she plays a victorious chord. Announcing Kitty, friend of the palace and apprentice to Azra the magician. Welcome, Kitty. Procutor Volta? I'm just gonna call him Volta. I don't know if it's male or female, so... This is Kitty? Cuter than I imagined. Vlasto Meal? I'm just gonna call him Vlasto. What a delightful surprise. We were all just talking about you. Volgora. Sit right here beside me, Kitty. Don't be shy. The welcoming gestures taking me by such surprise, I hadn't expected such enthusiasm. Eager, manicured hands draw me down under the couches and into the fold of conversation. The Countess watches from where she plays the pipe organ, drawing contemplative tones. Tell me, Kitty, how was the announcement received? One can only imagine. Even we, the favorites of the Countess, closest to her heart, had no idea that our dear Countess, who shares everything with us, could orchestrate such a surprise. A surprise masquerade. How lucky we are for not having to worry about planning for it. How lucky Kitty would have to be to get a word in with you all. Goodness. Oh, but how lucky she already is to be taken in by the Countess, an unproven, unknown apprentice, and to take such I dare say, chance, so unlike our most thoughtful and meticulous Countess. A chance, you say? It was not chance that led me to Kitty's door. Then perhaps the Countess might inform her adoring court how exactly it was that she arrived at the witch's door that night. Excuse me? Did you just call me a witch? True as that may be, you do not need to insinuate such things. A prim figure in steely gray robes rounds the couch and offers me a soft, pale hand, looking down a thin nose at me. Valerius. Portia made special mention of him. The Countess minds him more than the others. Or perhaps the witch might tell us herself. Perhaps, don't call me that. The courtiers round Valerius, gasping with bright, hungry eyes. Witch, is that not your occupation? Ah, forgive my mistake. You are but an apprentice. The courtiers turn to me, hands fluttering over their mouths. The consul holds a narrow gaze, even as the Countess' sonorous voice rises over the whispers. You know, if you had all wanted so badly to know how that night transpired, you might have simply asked. As it happens, I was having some trouble sleeping. As you have been for some time, Countess. Yes, Procurator, as I have been for some time, I was having trouble sleeping. On that night, I woke haunted by a specter of a dream. No escape from my mind. No comfort from my terrors, nor anyone to whom I could turn who might understand them. Indeed, I was in a desperate state. Desperately seeking someone, anyone who may be of help to me. It was I who was lucky to come across the one I needed so soon. A benevolent universe brought us together, did it not, Kitty? A glimmering red gaze falls fondly upon me, and the courtiers shift, studying me with new intensity. I start to sweat. The moment is broken by the airy sigh as a consul draped in gray peers at me through his wine. Valerius, a benevolent universe brought you together. With every due respect, Countess, your mind may have been too occupied of late. His thin, tapered hand sways in my direction, swinging his wine glass with it, to see the full capacity of our wide and welcoming arms. Valerius throws his arms wide, sending a sparkling arc of wine sailing from his glass. It splashes across the front of my garment, soaking me. A collective gasp sweeps through the room as I feel the heady liquid seeping into my skin. The Countess's expression as she strikes a sour chord rises from the organ is murderous. Valerius. Oh, my apologies. How clumsy of me. Surely a witch is skilled as you know some hocus or pocus to remedy this dilemma. Enough, Valerius. You've exhausted my patience for tonight. All of you out. To your chambers. I would appreciate it if you could make it there without spilling, but I won't count on it. Tiptoeing around my splattered form, the courtiers file as sheepishly out of the door. I remain with the Countess because her hand is resting lightly on my shoulder. I am sorry, Kitty. I had imagined many outcomes to this evening's affair. I must admit this was one of them. We must rid you of these ruined clothes, of course. Such pettiness. But I have taken enough liberties with your wardrobe, so please do not hesitate. Tell me what you would like. And please, Kitty, spare no expense. Portia stands at the ready as the Countess folds her hands awaiting my request. It seems as if Nadia wants me to ask for some riches. Does she like showering people in gifts? My old clothes, please. Ah, I thought you might say that. I suppose you would. You shall have your old clothes, Kitty. I regret if this comes as a surprise, but your comfort here is one of great importance to me. Portia will escort you to your chambers. You will be bathed and your garments returned. I believe you will find them as much as you left them. Portia leads me to the door as the Countess resumes her practice at the pipe organ. Oh, and Kitty, you are my guest of honor. You could be more selfish if you like. I could, but I don't like being selfish. I don't like asking for things if I don't absolutely need them. That's just me in IRL, but I don't like spending frivolously. It's not something I've ever wanted to do. It's not something I like doing. I'll get something on occasion, rarely if needed. So, the cooing tones of the organ echo down the hall as I'm led away, lilting under the Countess's graceful hands. I can't help feeling as though, a little though, I've been sent like a child to bed. When I've been bathed and returned to my guest quarters, a parcel is waiting for me by the window. There's a tightly spiraled note perched on top addressed to me from the Countess. A gift for my dear guest. This emerald which seemed to call your name. Wear it in good health. And Kitty, you may call me Nadia. Even in writing, I can feel the Countess's, Nadia's, gaze, ever penetrating, ever contemplating deeper. The fluid chain slips through my fingers as I hold the jewel, and in a gradual wave, I start to recognize its energy. Am I mistaken? No. I know the feeling too well. It is Azra's magic, radiating from the gem in gentle, soothing ripples. I remember my desperate search in the back room, looking for connections to him and coming up short. To come upon this brilliant jewel alive with his energy, I'll be able to do it. I have my chance. I lie and wait until the halls are quiet, midnight perhaps, before I steal out of my room. With the emerald hanging from my neck, I'm enveloped in a dreamy calm. The thought of hearing Azra's voice again. I dash through the empty halls and out into the veranda. Humid wind pulls and swells against me, moving languidly through the garden, carrying the babble of night birds. For the first time, the sight of the maze ahead excites me. I know the way now. When I reach the fountain under the weeping willow tree, someone familiar is hanging from its branches. Faust! Did she know I was coming? Or could this be where she keeps slithering off to? Her weight drops eagerly onto my shoulders, sleek body giving me a friendly squeeze. She takes immediate interest in the emerald, tongue flicking after it as I lift the pendant from my neck. I close my eyes, take a deep, even breath, holding the jewel over the water, and I drop it. Light catches every glimmering green face as it sinks into the bottom of the pool. Faust rolls herself along my shoulders as the water starts to change, colors blooming, shapes unfolding. You're back. Tall palms sway rhythmically behind him, against a glittering sea of stars. His hair catches starlight in every whirl. I saw the water changing this time. Faust, you're looking lively. Being around Kitty does that to you, doesn't it? His bright, smiling eyes twinkle as he lays his chin in his palm, gazing at me. You look tired. Azra's expression is sleepy but content. His secret escapades must have been fulfilling today. Do I? I don't feel tired. I was just about to get into the water, but you beat me to it. I roll my eyes while Faust slides across my lap to take sniffling licks at the water. You two have definitely gotten closer. She's opening up to you. It may be time for me to do the same. I nearly choke. My face must be a sight because it makes him laugh, high and unrestrained. No, really, it's true. I want to start being more honest with you. What's on your mind? Ask me whatever you like. All that I ask is that you start being more honest with me, too. His gentle gaze watches over me, bringing me calm. But I have a few burning questions. Who's Julian to you? Because he's been at the shop a couple times. I've seen the depth of emotion that crosses the doctor's face when he speaks of Azra. Julian? Ah, yes. He goes by that name, too. I knew him by another. He was a friend once. Then more. And then something else. Something I had to get away from. Who is Julian to me? Who is he to anyone? Whoever he needs to be to get what he wants. To think he would come for me after all that. Let's leave it at this. He's a hack physician with a lot to learn. Until he does, nothing good will come of him. With a deep sigh and a shake of his head, Azrael clears the heavy mood. He smiles. So that's what you wanted to know? That wasn't so bad. Or is there perhaps something else on your mind? His twinkling eyes search mine with wordless depth. It's getting late. Is it? Time is strange here. Go rest, Kitty. I'll see you again soon. I know you'll find me. I see Azrael reaching towards me, toward the water. His touch scatters the image, and he's gone. Faust looks disappointed, curled on the edge of the pool as I rise to my feet. Come, Faust. I know. We'll see him again soon. She gives me a short sigh and a longing look at the pool. Reluctantly, she slides up my arm to rest against me. Her presence soothes the strange ache in my chest. With a shake of my head, I gather the serpent into my arms and head back inside. Oh, route selection. Next part of your story is about to unfold, but you won't have to make the journey alone. Are you ready to begin? I'm ready! And here's where we can choose. But here's also where I'm going to leave it off for this time. You guys know, no matter what, I am going to be picking Julian. Julian is my sweetie. Maybe after I finish the whole story with Julian's route, we can come back, maybe in a live stream, and do one of the other two.